last time we had our conversation, ZackTV, aka Zack Stoner is his real name.
Yep.
He had just gotten killed.
Right.
And that really sent shockwaves to people like you and I.
Yep.
Because we do kind of the same thing that Zack was doing, in a way. And I remember there was an article that came out after our interview where you talked about the effect that Zack's murder had on you, which, by the way, is still unsolved 3 years later.
Unsolved, yep.
Still unsolved 3 years later. There's an actual video of him getting killed
downtown
on that freeway, right? There's an actual video of it, and it's still unsolved three years later, as high profile as he was, which is really just very, very sad.
Right.
But in the article, it talked about how you really just changed up your whole like way of moving after that. You know, you talked about, because remember you had that pink Corvette.
Yeah.
They used to drive around, and you got rid of it after his murder.
Yeah, I got rid of that shit, man. I got rid of it. And then shit, I stopped doing outside interviews too. You don't catch me really doing vlogs too. That's the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I look back, I'm like, New Orleans, Chicago, Brick City, Steve Drive, like really in Chicago, like really in Baltimore, really in St. Louis, like the worst cities. I'm thinking to myself, like, what was I doing? But I've been in so many shootouts growing up, Vlad. Like I almost died in the shootout 2018, Christmas Eve. So things like that.
Wait. Let's talk about that for a second, because this was not you as a kid. This is 2018.
This is
when
2000.
We did our interview.
No. 2008. 2008. 2008.
Okay, so 2008. Okay, yeah. That's a whole different story.
I was 18.
Aha.
Yeah.
So you were caught in a shootout.
Yeah, and that wasn't my first time I was in a shootout, but that was the shootout to where it was like, I can't really hang around the people that I was hanging around anymore. That was Christmas Eve. So picture your mom and whoever baking cookies. You got the stockings hung up on the fireplace, and y'all watching fucking The Grinch, and then you get a phone call. It was just a selfish act, you know, on that Christmas Eve night. But I've been in countless shootouts that made me brave enough to do those interviews where I would do them. Those shootouts like that, I've been in a handful.
Yeah, I mean, I look back about my early career, like before ZackTV started, I used to have a DVD called Hot in Here DVD, where once again, I would be on the street with cameras. I'd be in these studios. There'd be guns pointed in the camera. God knows if they're loaded or not, you know? And I remember when I interviewed Lil Easy, you know, Eazy-E's son.
Yeah.
And we talked about this. This was before ZackTV. We had set up an interview with him in front of his grandparents' house in Compton, right, where Eazy-E grew up.
Right.
And I so clearly remember this. We go outside, right? We get ready to go, and we're doing it outside on the corner in front of the house. And right before the interview starts, someone hands Lil Easy a pistol. He tucks it into his waistband. And this is all off camera. This is not him trying to show off for the cameras. No, like this is like real life. Before the cameras turn on, he tucks the gun into his waistband, and we start to do the interview, and every few seconds he's looking around, right? Like his head is on a swivel the entire interview. And I'm holding the camera going, where the hell am I right now? I don't have a gun. Like, what's about to fucking happen? I've never been in Compton before. Like, clearly we're in a dangerous situation right now, and I'm holding this camera like a sitting duck. And after that, I said, all right, no more outside interviews, man. You got to come to my studio, or we have to do it remotely. You know, if I feel that the people I'm interviewing for, I'm not completely comfortable with, I will have armed security in that room. You know, we will limit the people that go in and out. And ultimately, safety is the most important part, because ZackTV getting killed was awful, man. It was absolutely awful.
Yeah, he did a lot for, you know, Chicago's community too. Like city council meetings and just a lot of things. Like he really, the scene haven't really been the same, you know, with the Chicago thing, like, because he brought life to that Chicago underground market for sure.